Yeah, I'm further reading. You might notice something different in this episode than last episodes. I realized when I sat down to record this episode that I had left I have like a kitten as a stream buddy when I'm streaming that like says hello to people and people can interact with it with channel points and stuff. It turns out I left it running and I didn't notice. So the last like 3 episodes I had this kitty and he's not supposed to be there. Or maybe I don't know. Maybe in future I'll bring him back. But yeah, I didn't mean for the kitty to be there. So by now you probably know I would have left and probably go put pinned comments on the episodes. But yeah, no kitty anymore. But anyway, here we are. We're back. This is episode 8. Is it episode 8? I think it's episode 8. It is episode 8. On episode 8, in the last one, we got through Golgotha using a little bit of cheese and also just lots of bullets. And now we're about to hand in the Golgotha crest and we're going to get to know the Barathrumites. So, to remind you of the lore we got from Archive many episodes ago, there is a specific one of these little bears called Barathrum, and he came here with his buddies. He migrated from some other part of the earth, and they are like the best kind of scientists and builders in the region. The mechanimists have a lot of tech, but they like worship the tech and they don't like make new tech and stuff. In fact, I think like they're not too cool with the Barathrumites, because the Barathrumites like make new tech and they tinker with old tech, which might break it, and that will annoy him. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure like what the relationship is between the two of them. But the Barathrumites, they're like scientists and stuff. So they're like the kind of the most kind of like techie and knowledgeable people in the setting. In order to allow us in, they wanted us to prove ourselves, to prove that we were also awesome and techie like they are. So we had to go into Golgotha, which based off the fact that the basement of Golgotha is full of goo and trash, and the other floors, which you didn't see because I skipped, are full of like weird vents releasing gases and stuff and conveyor belts. That is like some kind of like trash processing plant. At least that's what I feel Golgotha actually is. I don't think anyone in the lore like explicitly says so, but Golgotha to me seems like some kind of trash processing plant. So we've gone ahead and we did that. We managed not to get sick. There's some very nasty illnesses you can catch in Golgotha, but lucky for us, we didn't catch them. We avoided getting covered in the wrong kind of goo. So nice and safe and healthy. And yeah, we're just gonna go and hand the questions. So this is Otto. He stands with tremendous import and stillness, as if some hidden but vital vertex of the Enclave. In Barathram's name, he is conferred onto himself the tonsure of stewardship and shorn the hair from his scalp. His snout narrows in proportion to the tight corridors around him. His robe is impeccably clean. Ray droids beep and whir at him obediently as they scuffle past. He's loved by the Barathrumites. He's disliked by highly entropic beings for refusing him entrance to Great Gate. Highly entropic beings are like Lovecraftian gods is like a good way to think of them. So stuff like, you know, I keep trying to think of names, but I keep coming up with names of the old gods from World of Warcraft. So I'm like, Lovecraftian gods, like, you know, Sauron and Cthulhu, but no, they aren't Lovecraftian. I guess they are Lovecraftian in a way, but you know, not the same kind of Lovecraft. These are like highly tropic beings, are weird quantum mechanics gods. Physics gods, okay? Physics gods. He's hated by the Children of Mammon as well. The Children of Mammon are a cult that worships goat. There's like a specific group of goat people who are led by a specific goat man. We'll be interacting with them later. They're very cool. There's some cool lore with like some of the stuff with them. And then Vines don't like him because he doesn't let people in, basically. So some Vines wanted to come in, and he was like, "No, fuck off, Vines. You can't come in." We're gonna talk to him. Welcome to Great. I'm Otto, Barathram's steward. Apologies for the manner of introduction. We must take precautions. Qud is a very unforgiving place. You demonstrate tremendous promise to have returned from Golgotha with such inexperience. Take this firearm as your reward. It bears the mark of our finest gunsmith, Sparrow Fusel. Take this bracelet as well. Returning ready to discuss the signal. So this is one of the few quests in the game where you get bonuses if you do it at a low level. So if you're lower than level 18, you get the gun he's talking about. If it's lower than level 13, I think, you get the bracelet he's talking about. So the bracelet is, I think it's going to be a hologram bracelet, which is quite good for defense. And then the gun's going to be really good for us. It's going to be like basically an upgrade to this gun. So I will complete the quest step. There we go. Oh. Okay, that's actually kind of annoying. So liquid cooled means that there's some benefits for having water in it, but it uses up water, and I don't want to be using up water. But we do want the pistol because we are pistol people. It's basically just a normal chain pistol, but it's got the Masterwork mod and the scope mod on it. So I'm gonna grab it because it is what we want, and we got a hologram bracelet as I was talking about earlier, and we got loads of XP, and we're level 13. Oh boy! And the Barathrumites like us a bit more because we did the quest. So let's have a look at some of this. So have a look at you. Tin stand equip hangs off a scratch cool magazine. Well, okay. There's 5 shots. Yep, it's fine. This weapon is increased accuracy. Okay, because it's scoped masterwork, it's more likely to do critical hits. Liquid cooled. Its rate of fire is increased by 1, but requires pure water to function. When fired, there's 1/10 chance that 1 jam is consumed. Okay. Yeah. So the liquid cooling means it fires faster, which, well, it doesn't really matter yet, but eventually, well, I think with because it's liquid cooled, scoped, and chained, because it's masterwork liquid cooled scoped, we can't mod it. So by the time we get to the point where we are going to be, 100% phased, we won't be using this anyway. But as I kind of mentioned earlier, the way the phasing and stuff, the cooldowns and stuff work, increasing your speed can actually damage this build. When usually with a pistol build, you want to be as fast as possible. I think I might not use this just because I don't want to be wasting water on it. And I feel we have tons of agility, and our crit rate I think feels fine. I'm thinking maybe I won't use this. I'm not sure though. I might decide later. I'm going to pour the water into this water skin. There we go. And I wonder if it will still function without the water in it. Let's see. If I equip this here, we're going to reload. Oh, when we reload, it gets filled with water. Okay, so yeah, I don't want to be wasting water on this. Even though it's a 1 in 10 chance, I don't think it's worth losing water. So that's actually kind of annoying. But we could sell it for lots of money at least. Let me just put the water back into one of my water skins. There we go. Are you ready to discuss the signal? First of all, I will trade with you. Give anything interesting? Resonance grenade. We'll grab the bullets. There you go. Resonance grenades. They were fine. So we're going to share some water over them. The highly entropic beings like us a little less. Mon like us a little bit less. And vines like us a little bit less. But it's not too bad. What's nice is you can ask the Barathrumites to teach you stuff. 16 reputation isn't that much, so yeah, we'll totally grab this. Drum loaded. That actually could be good. Oops, solar cells. That's 33 reputation though. I think it's easy enough for us to learn how to make solar cells, so I won't waste that. We'll give you some secrets. There we go. We can ask for some secrets as well, but I think I want to see what we can also. There's a second Barathramite we can have a water ritual with, and we'll see what she gives us. So we'll discuss the signal. Signal is a repeat transmission being broadcast from an unknown source. It's been live for over a year. One of our thinkers, Q-Girl, discovered it while rigging a long-wave detector. Unfortunately, it's encrypted, and we don't have the means to decrypt here to decrypt it. You may have some help in this matter, however. Because that's interesting. So like, even though our guys sent us here with the signal, turns out that the Barathrumites already knew about it. It's been going on for the last year, so it predates anything that we've done in the game so far. We've long known the location of a fully functional Beetle within the bowels of the Great Hall of Bethesda Sussa. The mechanists have consecrated the site around it and built a temple there. Hugo claims to have developed a means to decrypt the signal, but she needs the computing power of the Beetle. If you can infiltrate the mechanics compound, you may be able to engage the Beetle and decode the signal. What is a Beetle? They are antique stones located in certain places within the Caverns of Qud. We believe they're some sort of hyper-advanced machines built by the Eaters. Often one claims to possess sentience of its own, however most of them have gone haywire in the eons since their creation. It's rare indeed to discover one whose circuitry is wholly uncorroded. Mechanists worship this one as an idol, and they'll protect it at all costs. You will need to find a way through the host, the Beetle itself. You believe you can accomplish this task? So the Eaters are the civilization that existed before the Sultans did. They were humans, and they were like just really powerful sci-fi humans. They were, you know, they had like an intergalactic empire and shit. They were pretty badass. There's other places we'll learn a bit more about them, I think, later on. But yeah, the Eaters are pretty badass. So most of the stuff in the game is stuff that was built by the Eaters, and have since like we're kind of in the Dark Age now, a lot of the stuff has, you know, kind of fallen into disrepair and stuff. Yeah, I can complete the task. Good apprentice, speak to Q-Girl in the workshop. She'll encode her instructions for the Beetle onto a copy of the disc. There's one more thing, the Beetle is located beneath the ancient cryobarriers of the Eaters. Hammers work to erode the mechanisms that contain their cryogenic mist. That freezing vapor billows out of the chambers freely now, cooling the entire cabin. You want to procure warm clothing to protect yourself. The spoils of the mechanics are yours to keep. Remember, apprentice, Barathrum will kindly upon your service. So like this dungeon has like very low temperature, and if you go in there with like 0 cold resist, you can actually like freeze solid at some point. Oh, here's Q-Girl. Let's check Q-Girl's stuff here. Loved by the Barathrumites, hated by the villagers of Shad for questioning the legitimacy of the hierarchies, disliked by insects for her queer appearance, and admired by Glowwites for developing a quantum mechanical model. I think Q-Girl always has these specific interactions, but the factions will be different, but she always has these 3 relationships. She's an opal in the monochrome. Her hair is a craze of red ochre and indigo in the blanched light of the workshop. Her cartilage is pierced by polyhedral rings that spin in anatomy to Cave's simple geometry. Beneath the quills, her skin is decorated in furcate lines, fantastic elaborations on the patterns of the skirted circuit boards. She's surrounded by apparatuses of her own creation. Through the harmony of those machines, she cuts a swatch through the entropic brine that sizzles around her, a loudening chorus. We're going to share some water with her. We're going to grab the fungicide grenades, even though we don't need them, just because that might... Okay, damn. I was hoping that would unlock more things we could build. We'll share some secrets. And we'll ask for secrets. Okay. That's all the secrets you can give me. Okay, that's all good. So... Kretzel. Welcome to my workshop, friend. What does Kretzel mean? The word I say out of excitement is sort of a semantic extension of the feeling I get when I see a Kretzel. Oh, a Kretzel is a pretty bird in the Trogan family. I tend to incorporate these things into my idiolect. Q-Girl is very, she's very Q-Girl, I guess. She's a bit of a mood. Your hair is a craze of red, ochre, and indigo. Yeah, we know that. Kretzel, thank you. What a poetic metaphor. You're a regular Shakespeare, aren't you? I guess. There must be 100 gadgets here. What are you working on? Oh, Kretzel, a wave shortener for the shortwave detector, a frustum pulley for the iron lathe, a trice retarded M-band. She continues. A dissertation on the illegitimacy of power. Kretzel. I guess Kretzel is like Bazinga. Otto informs me you have a method for decoding the signal. Can you encode your instructions for the Beetle onto this disk? I do, babe friend. I'll input them now. Thank you. Okay, good. We'll see, can we trade with Q-Girl? You have a gemstone and a wedge, and she gives us nulling and a chair. Okay, nothing really. Yeah, because after the last session, we're kind of a bit poor because we had to grab the Eigen pistol, data disc, which was quite expensive. So we're a little bit poor now. Will I sell the hologram bracelet? I think it might be better to take that apart. It's only $50. Anything else I think I want to sell? It's like $200. I probably will sell this eventually. Because yeah, I don't like, for this build, well, like the liquid cooling can be good in other builds, but for this one, being too fast can actually be a detriment to us. And yeah, so let's go talk to some of the other Barathrumites. While you taking all this stuff, this is the chef. This is Dirty. Dirty dresses you out looking up from his many workspaces, many of which below smoke, steam, or some unknown miasma. Welcome to my laboratory, Ghost Cowboy. Rest and sustain yourself before returning your travels. Do you know anything about Bethesda Sussa? Yes, I have braved its wharf in the past to gather precious cod valance for my experiments. Are you going? Dress warmly and mind the trolls. So, the Barathrumites will give you some hints what to prepare against. He's telling you that cod valance is some really cool liquid that you can find there, and also they always kind of, you know, push on dress warmly because you do want cold resistance, and there'll be trolls there as well. That smell from the oven is indescribable. When you smell his Cricket's signature dish, the porridge, is a recipe passed down through generations of Barathrumites, and it's the food that inspired me to pursue my craft. Yes, outsiders quail at the intensity of the scent, but its flavour is as bold as its effects. Using cuisine to channel lightning from our bodies. Other recipes let us breathe fire, and learn the secrets of the eaters. The porridge is as precious as part of our legacy as the Barathrum clock or the Fulminator. So when you eat the porridge, it gives you disease resistance, which it gives you like plus saves to disease, which is quite important to avoid developing certain illnesses when you leave Golgotha. And also it gives you some points into electrical generation. So if you don't have electrical generation normally, you can eat the porridge to get it. What are you working on? Oh, it changes by the hour, sometimes the minute. Observe this, observe that, add anything, taste everything. But the star apple of my eye, the spindle up which I cast my ambitious gaze, is edible vapor. Food that you eat, food that you breathe. Sadly, to date, most I've managed is a herbed saline suspension. Salty air, if you will. Vapor and salt. Yes, the flavour, the breathability, all successful, but the barrier between flavour and food is in the calories. You have yet eluded me. With only bad time, I am patient, I am relentless. Good luck then. Did you call your kitchen a laboratory? Kitchen? You think this is a mere kitchen? It only looks like a kitchen. No, of course it's a laboratory. I wasn't thinking. I'm gonna be nice. Perhaps you're right, friend. Think for a moment. Every ingredient in the soup of collected knowledge is a valuable one, and who am I to elevate myself over more humble pioneers? But all the more reason for us to regard cuisine, by extension culture itself, be a scientific endeavour, an ongoing trial and error, the blending of what we know and what we don't know, calling upon reality itself to be our guide. You're more insightful than I realised, Ghost Cowboy. Thank you for this discussion. Do you need anything else? Nah, we don't. Live and drink, buddy. This is Shem. I live, but do I drink? You're calling that speaks? Can you understand me? Is this a trick question? I suppose I cannot know what you attend. Can I understand you? I just meant that if you're able to communicate, it seems so. What kind words? It seems so with you too. Why are you called Shem 1? Say Shem -1. Like to hear, I was the first put together by father and friends. I was Shem 2, second iteration of the Make Me project. I came along and scampered through the halls, listened to the stories, Nick read me, climbed onto the Sparrow Fusel's workbench, have my screws replaced. I realised I was not what I could be, so I degraded myself to Shem 1. This happened 3 times. I worried you're getting further away from your ideal self. It's unclear to me what I should be. I'm your friend, Shem. I'm your friend, Ghost Cowboy. Oh, we're friends! Oh, I love Shem. Over here we have Hortensia. So we ran through these guys earlier just to do our best to get the schematics I need. So now we'll just chill out a bit and have conversations. Drink deeply of life, child. Are you finding your way? Do you know anything about Bethesda Sussa? There are pools of confluence there, you see. When cryogenic mist condenses, it forms a cool, luminous liquid that's restorative if you're able to bathe in it. Oh, and one of the rune wards, the alchemist keeps their shop. Who's the alchemist, you ask? A sort of enigmatic figure. An amateur liquid tinker, poet, merchant. The methods aren't scientific, but they are useful if you're really seeking a specific kind of liquid. Just be careful when them goes, Cowboy. Your hair is so grey. How long have you lived in Gritgate? That's a really rude thing to say. Years, decades on decades, centuries perhaps. Most of these wet-eared cubs are merely sketches in their mother's dream books when they arrive to study under Barathrum. We knew so little then, we know so little now. Can you tell me about the other Barathrumites? We'll ignore out. Tell me about Barathrum himself. Larger than life, paternal, concerned, the lenses of his eyes are focused on the far points of the world. Tell me about Otto. Brassy, if you bent him, he might snap. The way I treat liquids on my burner, Otto treats units of the Enclave. What about Jacobo? Sharp as attack, living life of deep meaning, attentive and orderly. I can't say I understand his music, but I do love how expressive he is with it. Barathrumites? Oh, such precious vantage point on my sweet neighbour. When he achieves the moment of perfection in his craft, a flawlessly spiraled barrel, a mound of powder measured to the grain, he beams like the high salt sun. What a lovely smile. Q-Girl? She explodes like gas and dust at a quiet corner of the galaxy, radiant, revolutionary. She's a good listener and companion for supper, which you mightn't expect. Mafio. After supper, I like to retreat to the library, take a storybook off the shelves, flop down in a chair there, and lose myself in another world. Many of these worlds feature places, markets, gardeners, ships. Many of those places have bells. When they do, I stick with Mafio. When anyone else, Mafio could be a character in the bright world of a story, but this dusty place is confined to a mere storybook. Mafio has like bells hanging from his quills. That's what he's talking about there. Isepa? Our sleepy sage, so sweet, she calms me. I sit in her room, we muse on the nature of things. Neek? I've instructed Neek since they were a little cub. Another strange one, bouncy, full of smiles, but brilliant, in their own way. My favourite book in all the world is Neek's Spiderwebs on Hover Sleds. Who would have ever thought? Dirty. Fiery, blustery, like the stews he cooks. We go to chat with him, make sure you have a schedule cleared, and an hour of honeyed wine. Alonsius? I've shared my honey with that prickly troglodyte for more years than I can count. I can't help but like him. While he won't admit it, it feels he feels the same about me. Shem, -1. Precious Shem. You take such a wider view of the world than we do. What a momentous obligation we've created for ourselves, and how I wouldn't undo it. And Eshregal. She's a sphinx. It's not enigmatic, that one. Not entirely clear if she was there waiting when Kugel succeeded at retreading the mainframe's guts, or if she spoke into being that very moment. Or was it some synthesis of the two? Eshregal is the AI that runs their mainframe. Anything else to ask you about? Are you a liquid tinker? You're a sharp ghost cowboy. In a way that's what I am, but liquids are more willful than scrap. You can't solder them together. They would run away and hide in the shell cracks, slowly come apart and disappear. I'm also thinking of myself as a wise woman in a dialogue with them. I manage their moods and phases. My notebooks are full of their quirks and caprices. It's a wonder, isn't it, how at just the right temperature and pressure of the continuity of matter is smashed apart. How the gaseous butterfly flits out of the dense worm. I think we asked this already. Yeah, we have. Live and drink. We're going to head over here now to Sparfusel. Know anything about Bethesda Sussa? Sparfusel instructs you to wait and spends a minute or so rifling through the papers and scraps scattered across his workbench. At last he produces a graphite sketch of a cylinder, expertly rendered specular, revealing its surface to be shiny like glass. The detail of the cylinder's contents are indistinct and dark, but somehow menacing. Sparfusel points to the glass and makes a braking motion, and draws a thumb across his throat. I'll have to be careful of glass tubes? He nods. Thank you for the clarity and patience, tinker friend. With a smile of gratitude, Sparfusel taps his chin with a flat hand and lowers it towards you like a drawbridge. Oh, he's mute. I wonder if that's like actual sign language. Anyone watching this who speaks sign language, is it just like how you say thank you in sign language? If I might change the subject, with a nod, Sparfusel waits for you to continue, keeping his eyes focused on your lips. Oh, he is... Yeah, he's deaf and reading my lips. My refusal places a closed finger over his mouth and taps his ear. Then muzzle with his muzzle with one long finger. Hello, exactly. Explain aloud. You're unable to hear or speak. Smiling a bit, Barathrumites nods. Is this a condition of your work? He shakes his head. Is the condition lifelong? He nods. If I might change the subject. You are bare of few words. Barathrumites places a closed fist over his mouth and taps his ear, then muzzle with a long finger. Okay, that's the same stuff. Are you happy living in this cave, away from the sun and open sky? Barathrumites gives you a warm smile and a firm nod. Pressing pointers to their respective thumbs, he taps these finger circles together before his chest rotates, both hands in place until the smallest of his long fingers touch. Finally, he gestures towards the other Barathrumites working at their stations. Are you happy because you are happy because you're with your family? He nods. And there we go. Barathrumites makes an L shape with both hands, thumb facing down, fingers pointed towards one another, before flipping both hands so his thumbs face up. He raises a closed fist to his mouth, thumbs out, and mimes drinking from it. This done, he nods once more and turns back to his work. I bet this is live and drink in sign language. Let's talk to you. Jacobo, do you have advice for entering Bethesda Sussa? The Temple of the Rock is cut off from the wider world, and I hear that the Mechanimist colonists no longer recognize the High Priest Eshelstadt. That said, if you're favored by the Mechanimists, you are welcome in the holy places. I have no doubt that Fene or Hosea will grant you peaceful entry. Is that music coming from your loudspeaker? It sounds like a bell echoing in the void backward through time. Yeah, you like it? It's Sheba Hag and I composed it on a wavelade. He made a series of songs about the birth of life of the Casafessets. Together we called it the Spun on the Cosmic Loom. Sheba Hag is the librarian in 6 Day Sult. It turns out that Sheba and Jacobo make music together. That's pretty cool. Sheba Hag? Oh, Sheba Hagadias. She's the librarian at the Cathedral of the 6 Day Sult. My water sister and cohort in Chrome. What's the Casafessets? Beauty manifest whose chromium shoals are art self. In my belief system, she's the being whom all metal was birthed out in the ever void. There are pieces of her in every chrome belfry in every machine, even bits of her in her own blood. For me, her essence extends beyond more metal. Anything that's ordered, infused, a poem, a magwell proof, a clean workshop, so definitely not Q-Girls. So you're a mechanimist. Oh, I didn't actually realize that it seems like they are actually friends. So of a sort, yes. I'm part of a branch who deify the Casafessets only. We believe the Earth and Fathers to be earthly beings, important to the fate's early history, but not divine. Any other songs? Many. This is my third collaboration with Sheba, and the first two collections are called Immaculate Chrome and Outside In. That chrome orb earring you're wearing, what's the meaning of it? It's the Silver Wanderer. It's a mark of devotion to the Casafessets. Yeah, we know about that already. I know why this is like not looking great, because we've already said that. You have so many data disks. Don't I know it? I had to invent 8 separate systems of organization to manage them all. At the moment I'm trying out a new one, Harmonic Spiralis. Harmonices Spiralis. Harmonious... I'm just going to skip it. Spiral towers with heights increasing according to the harmonic sense of numbers. It's fine. The problem is I'm always inscribing more disks, new contraptions, reverse engineered artifacts. It's a good problem to have, I suppose. Take a look and see if any interest you. Potato Gate. We're a vibrant community here, a circle of monks mapping the outer lattices and raising viaducts where we need to. We remain secluded to protect ourselves. Otto and Bracham insist on it. They are wise, and I defer to them. A collaboration with Sheba Hag does cause them worry, but they tolerate it. Bless their hearts. Live and drink, buddy. So over here we have good old Mafio, who he's been trading with. Do you know anything about Bethesda Sussa? Bethesda Sussa? Lovely. A bit dangerous for holiday destination. You want to bring some bandages and warm clothing. Want to take a look at my stock in case something suits you. Oh, Mafio, always try to sell me something. Anyone here? Nope. Oh yeah, we robbed them. We left the armor behind because it's too heavy to hold. Here's a Seppa. Ah, it's a new short-fingered friend. Set a spell if you like sitting. Or spells. Or a sipper if you like a sipper. It's a very good place to be. Do anything about Bethesda Sussa? Bethesda Sussa is an antipodal place, a gallery of life and death in the stages in between. Its depths prolong life, and it's early. Remove life from the flow of days or return it. It will seek to make you late, if you care to come back on time. What are you working on, Seppa? I'm considering a narrative in inheritances. The stories we were told when our minds were more putty-like. The fires that shaped who we are, or shaped the whole of Qud. Oh, it looks like you're sorting screws and fasteners. Yes. We're also doing the other thing. Yes. Okay. Are you tired? I'm always tired, friend. Sleep comes in fits and starts, always with ghastly visions. Sometimes that must be coaxed along with medicine. Oh no. You have prophetic visions in your sleep? No, my nightmares are a concoction of my disordered mind. There's nothing more. Views from this cauldron have nothing to do with the future, save how they affect it. I'd rather speak of something else. Oh, poor Seppa. Good time with the other Barathrumites. I would never take the steel from you to the light of forming opinions of my enclave on your own. Besides, it sounds like quite a lot of talking. I should know more about you. I'm a Seppa, and she is me. I've been taught to be someone else, and never enough to try. Okay, live and drink a Seppa. Seppa is pretty cool. And this is the last person to talk to. This is Neek. Greetings. I sort of like Neek stares at you awkwardly. No, but I'm kidding. Here, I'm just jidding. What? Neek stares at you awkwardly. Do I think about Professor Sussa? It's sort of like this. You go to the battle, and you talk to it, and you say, look, where is every beaded bracelet in the jungle? Where's every beaded bracelet in the Watervine Marsh? Where's every beaded bracelet in the River City? And it tells you to go and get the bracelets. Okay. What do you want here, Neek? It's like what I don't do is drink Hortense's of sludge soup samples. I drank them once. She saw me, and so I smiled tactfully, and I could tell on the inside she was like, wow, so I don't do it. Neek winks at you, ha ha ha. He's no this will do it. Neek's a bit of a mood. Your hair is so rectangular. Neek chanting, rectangle hair, rectangle hair, rectangle hair. Sort of like when prehistoric lizards would grow big sails to regulate their body temperatures. You'd say, I like it, but it looks organically generated. What if you filed it to a sharp rectangle? Jesus, Neek, why are you so weird? Tell me about Quick Gate. It's a big bare city with lots of books and scratches, brass, and strange noises. And if you start chanting in sync with the noises, Otto will hush you. It's sort of like this. Let me explain. Seppa is napping. You peek into her room and rearrange her papers. And you walk down the hall and say, ding ding. So Matthew shakes his head and dings back. And then you fulminate by Hortensa. You fulminate right on by. You hug her too. And you scoot over and hug Sparrow. And you scoot over to Jacobo and look over his shoulder and nod like this. Nods thoughtfully. You go and run a Q-girl and tap all the gadgets and tap her head. And you sneak by Otto's office, and then you hug Shem -1, and you drag them to the library, and you meet to them. And sometimes Bratchum and Hortensa are in there, and they smile at you, and they get hungry, and they roll toward the kitchen, and you slap honey from the vase, and Dirty glares at you, and you say, I'm just jidding. I'm just jidding. And then you climb pipes and whisper to Alasius, live and drink, live and drink, live and drink. And you pat the chromelings on their heads, and you say to Esragal, boom, 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 I love you. And then you sneak into storage and pat all the chromelings on their heads, and then you take a nap in the chair, and you get by idea to go back to your room to write it in your notebook. Jesus Christ, Neek. Oh, I think I like this guy. This guy's awesome. I've never actually gone through all this dialogue before. I tend to just run through and skip everything. Oh, pretty cool dudes. Okay, so here's some stuff here, but nothing I really want to buy. And that is, yeah, we've talked to everybody. That is the end of episode 8. So hopefully you've enjoyed that, and hopefully you've enjoyed the series so far. A little bit of bookkeeping here. The series will continue as long as people are watching, and we'll keep on doing it, but we're going to be moving the channel. So episode 9 won't be on this channel, it'll be on my second channel, even further reading. So going forward, whenever I do a let's play like this, the first couple episodes will be on the main channel, but then if it goes on for a while, I'll switch it over to the other channel. That's also going to contain VODs of my Twitch streams as well. So if people want to have, a bunch of extra content, you can go ahead and check it out. I want to try to have the main channel focused on guides and tutorials, and just to start the let's plays, or shorter let's plays, while anything more longer form like this is going to take place on the second channel. Thanks everyone for watching so far, and thanks for all the likes and the comments as well. I really appreciate all the support, and I look forward to exploring the Caves of Qud with you guys and Ghost Cowboy for a long time yet. Have a great day everyone.